It is extremely clear that this Toronto Raptors team needs another center if they want to truly reach their potential this season. And lots of fans have been clamoring for the Raptors to re-sign Freddie Gillespie, who is currently tearing up the G League. So in today's video, we visit if it is the right decision for the team and what he could bring back to the organization. Let's get into it. Welcome NBA Raptors fans. This is Amateur Hour Sports, the channel where you get NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors at least 4 times a week. So if you like what you see from today's video and you want more of myself talking about the NBA and the Raptors and videos and content just like this, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Help us on a road to 8,000 subscribers, and I promise you will not regret it. But today we are discussing Freddie Gillespie after a very hot start to the G League season where he's turning into an absolute rebound machine. The Raptors, we cut him right before the season started. We waived him. He had a very poor preseason and an extremely poor summer league with the team. And I really believe he deserves to get waived from the team. But after showing some great signs with the Memphis Hustle in the G League, is it the right decision to bring him back to the team? Given that I've talked about it so many times on this channel that the Raptors need a center. In fact, there are so many Raptors fans talking about it. It might be the one thing that all Raptors fans can actually agree on, that this team does need a center. I'm sure there's some out there who don't believe that, but the Raptors, I mean, it's obvious. There are so many games where we really falter because of our inability to defend in the paint. But it's not necessarily the rebounding that is the issue for the Toronto Raptors. But one thing that Freddie Gillespie does very well is rebounding, and he's absolutely showing it in the G League this season. Last season, he was a double-double machine in the G League. The Raptors, they signed him up on 2 separate 10-day contracts before earning a contract, an actual contract with the team for the rest of the season. And after a very poor summer offseason with the Raptors, he was rightfully waived from the team. Again, he's playing well with the Memphis Hustle, currently averaging about 11.5 points per game and 12.5 rebounds per game on about 55% shooting as well. It is clear that he is really good for the G League and that he has the possibility of taking that next step up to the NBA again. Because when the Raptors signed him last season, we obviously had a tumultuous season, especially in that center position, having to rely on Aaron Baines and Alex Len for much of the season. But that all changed when we signed Freddie Gillespie and Khem Birch during the same week. Freddie Gillespie came in and was a spark, a definite spark for this team. It was a great player to root for as well. The story that he had going from D3 to D1 to the G League all the way up to the NBA, he had absolutely worked for everything that he had in his career, and he was showing that he could take that next step as well, playing quite well for the Toronto Raptors initially when he came in. But part of me now starts to think that I think it was just so bad for that Raptors team that we were looking for just something to cheer about. And an undrafted player like that, who was a likable player, I mean, who could forget the amazing performance of Party in the USA that we saw on the Open Gym documentary? And I think that was just something we could rally behind, especially after watching Aaron Baines all season. We just kind of needed something else to be happy about, and Freddie Gillespie, he came in and he provided that role. And honestly, he did play quite well. He was good at getting block shots. He was obviously a decent rebounder, and he could put the ball in the basket with some degree of consistency. But he was an absolute shell of that player as we hit the summer league, and also that carried over into the preseason. In the summer league, that is where NBA players show that they are way too good for Summer League. And the players that did that for the Raptors were Scotty Barnes and Malachi Flynn. They showed that they were way too good for Summer League. That's what you want from NBA caliber players. Freddie Gillespie did not show that. He got another chance in the preseason, and he also just did not get better there, and there was no spot for him on this roster, which left us with a big lack of depth in the center position. And obviously we are feeling the big effects of that lack of depth right now. Freddie Gillespie putting up some great rebounding numbers in the G League, and a few days ago actually put up 20 rebounds and 17 points in a single game. So is he a player the Raptors should strongly consider to bring into this team to help us out in the center department? I believe the answer is no. Freddie Gillespie was great in the G League last year. That earned him a spot on the Raptors where he was given a huge opportunity. Was used in really long spells on the court as well. Like, he got some good minutes, and it just didn't carry over into the offseason. He needed to do a better job of sharpening himself up during the offseason, get himself up to the NBA level, and it is clear he did not do a good enough job of doing that. Absolutely. Any player who plays in the NBA and drops down to the G League, they're going to be a level up from the competition there. It is not a surprise to me that Freddie Gillespie is once again putting up good numbers. They are slightly better than last season, but this is the kind of player that we brought up, and it was already clear that he was just not good enough to play for the Toronto Raptors. It was a trial that we gave him. We gave him a really good go at it, and he just did not earn his spot on the roster. I don't see a reason to recycle that method again. And I really don't see a reason to recycle that because I think the biggest thing about him from those summer league and preseason performances was, the rebounding he had. He wasn't really showing it, but there was rebounding that he had, the rebounding talent that he had. But the defense and the inside scoring were the things that concerned me the most. I mean, the defense was absolutely abysmal. It's like he wasn't even there. It was more as like he was a pylon in the paint. And that's what we need right now. We need rim protection. Rebounding, the Raptors are actually solid in that department. We are right in the middle of the pack as far as the NBA is concerned. Our rebounding rate, so it compares the amount of rebounds we get, the percentage of rebounds we get over the course of the season compared to the total rebounds in our games. And so far this season, the Raptors have gotten just under 50% of the rebounds available in their games played. They're about 49.8%. So rebounding, we're pretty even. And I'm going to live with that for a team that is quite undersized when we don't have that true center on that team. I'm going to live with those statistics. We are 15th in the league in our rebounding rate. So we're right exactly where I think we need to be. We make up the percentages in other departments like turnovers, forcing those extra turnovers. And as far as the splits for possessions and rebounding, it's pretty damn even for this Raptors team. So if you are looking at Freddie Gillespie for his rebounding talent, the Raptors, obviously it would help. They don't really need it. And I'm not convinced Freddie Gillespie would come back into the NBA and showcase anything more than he already did show for the Raptors. What would be the point of trying that again when we tried it once and it did not work? I don't see a reason to try it again, especially when there are other players in the Raptors organization who can step up to fill in that role. Look no further than the Raptors 905, the G League affiliate of the Toronto Raptors. Reggie Perry has been playing extremely well for this Raptors 905 team. I've been at every single home game, and Reggie Perry has definitely been impressive. His statistics go along with that to show it. He's averaging 19.7 points per game and 10.1 rebounds per game. He's basically playing as the center most of the time for that Raptors 905 team, but he's more of a power forward, just like Freddie Gillespie. His efficiency is pretty good. He's averaging about 48% from the field, 38% from three. Reggie Perry as well, after getting drafted in the second round a couple seasons ago, late second round by the Brooklyn Nets. This is a solid player. And I think if you want to give an opportunity to a G League player to step up to the next level, I don't see a reason not to go for Reggie Perry at this present moment. Last game that he played for the Raptors 905, albeit in a loss, he put up 40 points. There is clearly talent in this player, and he's still very young. He can be a little bit of a bruiser on the interior. There is definite talent in this player. Obviously, if he steps up to the NBA, those numbers are going to diminish. I don't think he'll quite have that 3-point percentage in the NBA, and obviously points and rebounds are going to drop. But there is definitely talent there. And why reach out for Freddie Gillespie for a second time when you've got Reggie Perry there, who I think can provide just a similar role with the team? Or you can go internally here. You can give a little bit more minutes to Isaac Bonga, but I don't really think that's the right decision. And if the team truly decides that they need a center, we need a center, and I'm in the mindset that, yeah, we absolutely do need a center for this team. This team definitely needs some help. If that is the case for this team, then I would say go out and try to trade for a proper center. There are some guys that you can certainly kind of lay out for some trade bait, get a decent center in return. But if that is not possible and you really just have to sign somebody from the G League, especially with players going into protocols every day, it seems like if the Raps get hit with that, there's guys like Reggie Perry who are ready to take the step up to the next level. I believe that he is at the level where he can get that chance in the NBA. Is he going to be a world beater? No, absolutely not. He's going to be like an 11th or 12th man in the rotation. But if you need depth and if you need help in that position, in the big department, Reggie Perry, I believe, is the man to give that opportunity to. Somebody who has absolutely earned the opportunity to take a step up to the next level based on his play in the G League. And I'm sure Reggie himself is going to feel like based on his play, he deserves a chance to take a step up into the NBA. Freddie Gillespie, a likable player, a player that you can definitely root for, something that the fans really did root for at the end of last season. Just a likable player for sure. It is just unfortunate to say that he just does not quite have the talent. He did not quite have the talent that met the standards of the Raptors and the NBA. Will there be another team in the league who gives him an opportunity? I think so. I think he's got a good enough highlight tape from his games at the NBA last season to warrant an opportunity to come back and get another chance. And I think that if he gets another chance, it was a good experience playing for the Raptors, and I think he'll take that, and I think he'll be better when he comes back. I just think it's very mutually beneficial for the Raptors and Freddie Gillespie. It was mutually beneficial to part ways. The Raptors just needed to find a little bit more talent. Freddie Gillespie, well, he needed to find a little bit more talent in himself. He gave himself a fresh start back in the G League where he's playing well. I think he's going to earn another spot in the NBA. With the Raptors, it's just not the right decision for me. If you have to go internally, if you have to go to the G League, and I think that Reggie Perry is the right player for that position, but I would absolutely prefer going out and getting more of a veteran presence in that center department, somebody who you can rely on to protect the rim. Doesn't need to be a crazy signing. Look at Khem Birch. He got waived by the Orlando Magic after the trade deadline last year, and he has showcased his ability to play up to this level, find a new level with the Toronto Raptors, and that is, I think, something that we can repeat as we get towards the trade deadline. So do you think the Raptors signed Freddie Gillespie? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that is it for me for today. Make sure you give a like on the video if you did enjoy, support the channel, and remember to subscribe to Amateur Sports for 4+ Raptors videos every single week. Hit that button right in the middle of the screen and show your support the channel. Let's finish 2021 with a bang.